All right, going live on Facebook, going live on YouTube, recording on the Zoom. Welcome everybody to the Ward F Community Caucus, where we dissect the city council agenda every Saturday before the council meeting. We like to take this time to get community's input because the Monday caucus does not allow the public to speak. So we like to hear what the community has to say before Councilman Gilmore makes his vote. He wants to make sure he's voting on behalf of the community. So we take this opportunity to allow the public to review the city caucus, the city council agenda with us. We allow you guys to speak freely. This is a very casual forum, casual conversation, and we welcome all of your input. If you are watching this after the fact, if you're not live with us and you're watching after the fact, feel free to send us an email to tell us your thoughts and opinions on any council meeting agenda matter. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to everythingwardf.com. You can also get here by typing in the peopleswardf.com, and then you can go to the community caucus page where we list all of the city council meeting times and dates, and also the caucus information as well. There you can click on the yellow button to view the city council agenda, or click on the blue button to join us live via Zoom. And the next city council meeting is taking place on Wednesday, April 9th at 6 p.m. And we'll get right into the ordinances. I just want to make sure we are live on Facebook for those attending on Facebook. All right. So 3.1, our first reading ordinance. First reading ordinance. Just for those who are tuning in for the first time, ordinances are new laws that are going to go into effect in Jersey City. All new ordinances have to be introduced at one city council meeting, and then they get voted on again at the second city council meeting, and then only after the second reading vote does it become law and go into effect within 30 days. So 3.1 is an ordinance amending chapter 84, alcoholic beverages and cannabis, to amend regulations of cannabis establishments and cannabis distributors. All right, so what we are seeing here, we're going to go to the purpose box to see what exactly they're amending. This ordinance has had several amendments over the years. So it just says amending regulations contained in chapter 84 of the municipal code to adapt changes to cannabis regulations. So they're not specific in the purpose. Normally when they add new items, here we go, they underline the new additions. So applications for a cannabis consumption area license shall be reviewed by the Cannabis Control Board, which shall make a written recommendation to the municipal council stating whether the board recommends providing local support. Let's see, also compliance with other local requirements is added, recommended approval. So the Cannabis Control Board is not only voting for themselves, but they're also now writing an official letter of recommendation to the council, because this is their specialty. A lot of times things come to the council, and the council is here to provide checks and balances for the administration, but it's also good to provide the council with supporting documents. So this helps with that process. Providing a written recommendation. No recommendation of a local endorsement shall be issued by the Cannabis Control Board for a cannabis consumption area that would result in either a total of more than 6 such consumption areas citywide, or for more than one consumption area in a single ward. Okay, so this is putting more of the onus on the control board, cannabis control board, and as it should have been from the beginning, as opposed to the council just blindly voting or always having to ask for this information before every vote. Now, instead of having to ask, it is mandated that this cannabis review board provide this information to the council before they vote, because a lot of times there isn't enough information, and we have to wait for this information to be provided. City shall notify the state of its endorsement following municipal council's adoption. Local endorsement shall be valid for 1 year and must be renewed annually. So anybody who has received endorsement from the city will have to come back every year to renew that endorsement. I see also a list of any other Class 5 cannabis retailers operating within 600 feet of the main entry door of the applicant's proposed location shall be provided. The applicant may request a list of the Class 5 retail cannabis locations operating within 600 feet of the main entry door. So good. So this is more information, again, being provided to both applicants and the city council so that everybody knows what parameters they're operating within. 3.2 is an ordinance of the city of Jersey City designating the Jersey City municipal offices located at 394 Central Ave, Jersey City, as the Michael Yoon Municipal Services Center. This is awesome. If you don't know, Michael Yoon was a city council member, dedicated his life to service in the community, also a local business owner, councilman. He was an integral part of the Jersey City since moving to the Heights in 1981. And so they're going to name this office after the late Michael Yoon. 3.3 is an ordinance dedicating Judge James McCaffrey's former courtroom, number 4 in the Jersey City Municipal Court, as the James J. McCaffrey Memorial Courtroom. 3.4 is an ordinance approving a 30-year tax abatement for 701 Newark Ave, LLC, Block 7902, lots 25, 26, 27 through 29, to be known as Block 7902, lot 25.01, more commonly known as the street address of 693 through 701 Newark Avenue, pursuant to the New Jersey Housing. So let's see, we're going to go to the purpose box to see why they need a tax exemption. Hopefully it's listed there. Great. So it's in order to receive funding from the NJHMFA to be used towards construction of a new 35-story mixed-use development containing 360 dwelling units, of which 90 units will be dedicated as affordable units, approximately 2,900 square feet of commercial space, amenities, and related improvements on the property, annual service charge of 11%. Now, is there a pilot? Like, is there a payment in lieu of taxes? Let's do a Control F search for pilot, and I don't see that within this. I don't see that within this document. Payments in. So pay an annual sum equal to 2% of the prior year's annual service charge as an administrative fee, estimated to be about 137,000 for the first 5 years, and 11% of the annual gross revenue for years 1 through 15, which is estimated to be 6.5 million in the first 5 years. Okay. All righty, so that's a tax abatement in order to get 90 affordable units. I feel like tax abatement should be for full 100% affordable buildings, not just a small percentage. 360 units and only 90 affordable. Okay. 3.5 is a franchise ordinance granting permission to St. George and St. Shenanda Coptic Orthodox Church to encroach onto the public right of way. And this was removed from the last meeting. So we'll see what changes were made, because now it's being brought back. All right. Second readings, section 4.1 is an ordinance amending chapter 131 entitled Construction Codes, uniform requiring applicants for construction permits to demonstrate prior approvals from certain city officials and agencies. This is so necessary and long overdue. This is so everybody can be on one page, and everyone can know about projects happening in the city. All too often, other agencies or departments or divisions don't hear about it until they come across it physically in walking, or they hear from a constituent. So this is going to help multiple departments and divisions be on the same page prior to permits being distributed. 4.2 is a franchise ordinance granting permission to Liberty Harbor North Partners LLC, its successors and assigns, to allow decorative pilasters, 4-foot bay windows, and a 10-foot awning to encroach onto public rights of way. 4.3 is an ordinance amending chapter 296, streets, sidewalks, and public rights of way, article 2, closure of the public right of way of the city code, requiring council approval of applicants for street closures, requiring the closures of 10 city blocks for 5 hours or more. So if you want to close off 10 city blocks for 5 hours or more, you will need city council approval. This is so that, again, more people can be in the know prior to these permits being granted, so that they can pass on this information to constituents. The more people you involve in the process, the better it is for the city. So we have these answers, and we're being more proactive as opposed to reactive when a constituent comes to us with concerns about these street closures. Greetings, Auntie Davis. How are you? Auntie Denise is in the building. 4.4 is an ordinance.
Morning.
Grand Rising. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And you? How's that young man?
He's doing well. 2 months and counting. He's doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
So we're on to our second readings. Did you have any questions about any first readings? Michael Yoon is having a municipal building named after him. Cannabis, just cannabis regulations are getting a little tighter with the Cannabis Review Board having to provide more information to the council prior to vote. A courtroom being formally named after James J. McCaffrey, a 30-year tax abatement in exchange for 90 affordable units is 3.4, and then a franchise ordinance was 3.5. Haven't gotten into resolutions yet. We are on 4.3, which is an ordinance amending chapter 296, streets, sidewalks, and public rights of way, the closure of the public right of way for the city code, requiring council approval for applications. Okay, that's the one that we were on. I believe Councilman Solomon is sponsoring this one, so that the city council will be informed, and you'll have to come to city council to get the approval to close any 10 city blocks for more than 5 hours. 4.4 is an ordinance amending chapter 321 of the municipal code of the city of Jersey City. We'll go to the purpose box to see what the amendments are. Intended to amend chapter 321 to meet the requirements, state requirements. Okay. 4.5 is an ordinance supplementing chapter 332, vehicles and traffic, article 9, parking for the disabled of Jersey City. And we see the applicants' names here and addresses. 4.6 is an ordinance supplementing chapter 332, vehicles and traffic, article 3, parking, standing, and stopping, adopting section 332-22, parking prohibited at all times on Enos Place. So that's 120 feet south of SIP Ave. 4.7 is an ordinance authorizing the city of Jersey City to review the lease with Brunswick Community Garden, also known as Jersey City Community Gardening, for the use of block 9905, lots 8 and 9, more commonly known as 174-176 Brunswick Street, for a community garden. We recently received a couple of inquiries with regards to how can I, start a community garden? There is an empty lot on my block. How do I go about doing something with this block? Can I adopt a lot? So this is an example of adopting a lot. You would have to go through the Adopt a Lot program. You can email us and we'll send you more information about that. Unfortunately, you can only adopt a lot that is city owned. There are many lots that are not city owned, and they're owned by private individuals or developers. So we would love for them to get in this process and maybe sign their lots up for this process as well, if they're not planning on building anytime soon. 4.8 is an ordinance authorizing the city of Jersey City to enter into a lease with Dwight Street Block Association for the use of block 25604, lot 8, more commonly known as 185 Dwight Street. The next couple of ones are also community gardens. 4.9 is a community garden at Garfield Avenue. 4.10 is a community garden on MLK. 4.11 is a community garden on McAdoo. And 4.12 is community garden on Olden Avenue. And then we go to 4.13, which is an ordinance of the municipal council adopting amendments to the Chapel Ave Industrial Park redevelopment plan. So amendments to this Chapel Ave industrial plan. It does not say, they should some better as these ordinances in the purpose box, but unfortunately they don't. So it'll say that the planning board conducted a public hearing on February 25th to consider the application to allow billboards as permitted use. So this amendment will allow billboards as a permitted use in this area. Greetings, Ms. Harold, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm good. And yourself?
Great, great. Just finishing up the second reading ordinances, most of which were regarding the Adopt a Lot program and community gardens. And then 414 is an ordinance approving another 30-year tax abatement to JHRC Senior Housing on Van Nostrand. So there was another 30-year tax abatement in the first reading ordinances. And this one makes sense, right? Because it's for senior housing. But the above is a 30-year tax abatement for partial affordable housing. It's 360 units and only 90 affordable units. So it doesn't make sense when we offer 30-year tax. It makes sense when we offer 30-year tax abatements to 100% affordable, but in this instance, there's no other community give back listed either, other than the 90 units being affordable.
I wholeheartedly agree. Absolutely.
So yeah, we need to tighten up with our with these tax abatements. Right now, there are 5 speakers signed up to speak. If you would like to sign up to speak, I would do so now, because once Portside signs up, that's another 12 to 24 people listed. You can go to everythingwardf.com, click on the Community Caucus page, and we have our sign up to speak link right here, or you can scan the QR code on this flyer to sign up to speak. If you are speaking on anything other than a second reading, you will need to sign up, register in advance to speak on anything that you wish to speak on. On to the resolutions. This is how we spend our money. It's also how we honor persons, places, and things. So 10.1 is a resolution authorizing an emergency temporary appropriation for the calendar year of 2025. We'll continue to see these emergency temporary appropriations until we approve the budget. Budget still hasn't been approved. They were presented last year, in the fourth quarter of last year. I want to say, yeah, it was like October they were presented. I'm not sure why it hasn't been put on the agenda to be voted on yet. But until then, we'll see these emergency appropriations. 10.2 is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to Fifth Asset Inc., doing business as Debt Book for debt service management system software under the National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance, a wholly owned subsidiary of Omnia Partners for the Department of Finance. 10.3 is a resolution authorizing a city of Jersey City to accept a gift from local veteran Anthony Zaccone. We can see what this gift is. It's 6 paintings valued at $1,000 to be hung at the Veteran Affairs Office. 10.4 is a resolution authorizing the city of Jersey City to accept a gift from a descriptive plaque, a gift of a descriptive plaque. Let me see if I can zoom in here. It's for the Catton Monument of Historic Objects, and the amount it's valued at $3,300. 10.5 is a resolution introducing and approving the 2025-2026 budget of the Central Avenue Special Improvement District, directing the city clerk to publicly advertise the budget and schedule a public hearing, directing the tax assessor to prepare an assessment roll of properties within the district based upon their budget. So you'll see that people who live in the area or businesses who own businesses in the SID will receive notices and be able to speak their piece at the upcoming public hearing. 10.6 is a resolution authorizing the Jersey City Department of Health and Human Services to accept grant funds from the New Jersey Department of Health for the 2025 Seniors Farmers Market Nutrition Program. Glad to see this is still being funded in the amount of $4,700. 10.7 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a MOU between the Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Veteran Affairs, and St. Peter's University. What do they do? We use their space, or okay, they host monthly events, providing free event spacing. All right. 10.8 is a resolution authorizing the Jersey City Department of Health and Human Services to accept the Child and Adult Food Program Care Grant. And that is in the amount of $117,000. 10.9 is a resolution authorizing an award of contract to Safeware Inc. for the purchase of desktop computers and accessories through U.S. Communities Government Purchasing Alliance, known as the Omnia Partners, for the Department of Public Safety, Office of Emergency Management, in the amount of
How much money
$125,000.
do they get? Excuse me, Erica, how much money do they get constantly with public safety? You know,
Right. Yeah.
and how they're implementing it for our community, they're getting it, but they're utilizing it with our community, sharing information. Okay.
Right. So these are desktop computers. We can see which divisions specifically are using these computers valued at $125,000. And what are they doing with the computers that these are replacing? Is there any type of replacement program? Because that's another thing. They upgrade their equipment. I feel like so often they're always upgrading their equipment, but what are they doing with the previous equipment? Can it be wiped and donated? 10.10 is a resolution authorizing an award of contract to Target Solutions Learning LLC, doing business as redvector.com, for tracking software for EMS and fire training under the National Purchasing Partners Government Purchasing Systems for the Department of Public Safety. And that is valued at $90,000. 10.11 is a resolution authorizing the award of contract with Tomahawk Strategy Solutions for providing various tactical training programs for Jersey City police officers under New Jersey state contract. Another training program that has not been
Once again, excuse me for interrupting. Once again, we still haven't had any input or anything to even understand the tactical training, and utilizing it even within the community. No changing. I just saw another incident with a man suffering mental illness, and the family called somebody and they died in New York. Same, different than what happened with us, but same thing.
Sabrina.
Erica.
Mhm.
So it looks like this is a very political year that's happening. I've seen this for years in how they operate. So what the police department is trying to do right now, actually, they're trying to get in as much stuff that they can before the new administration comes in. So they're just flooding resolutions, flooding contracts, spending their money, and probably spending that should have been done over the course of prior years. And because people are questioning what's going on in the police department. What are you doing for training? What are the programs you have? They're just putting stuff out here and now giving their friends. Because if you go and do Tomahawk, I think Tomahawk was the police director, not the director, but whatever, Shay's people he brought in from New York. And now they're trying to slide this in here. So my thing is, it's back on again. If the council wasn't for Tomahawk and what they do prior to, why are they trying to put it back on there again? Why are they even wasting their time? Why aren't they looking at other um, entities that would be offering the same type of training, just to, just for competition purposes, just to see what, somebody else is offering? And what are these, like Ms. Davis says, what are these these solutions going to do for our community? What is it going to do for any community? Because actually there's never really any explanation as to what they're actually going to be doing. So I see the de-escalation, situational awareness training. Yeah, they definitely need some training, and they need to have training on how to deal with people, how to recognize when, people are suffering from mental health issues, need to be able to recognize when people are under the influence, and know how to deal with different people of different cultures. So I understand that, but is this the only company
Right.
that offers those services.
See, this is where we come into when we were talking with the council members. How long ago, Erica? Since 2023, and we go up
Mhm.
to this training and different programs that they could utilize. Okay, they've got money for 911, all these tactical trainings, the escalation center, and nothing have they implemented with the grassroots community, our community behavioral health people, psychologists, social workers should be implemented for mental health, substance abuse, the teen, seniors, and that type of thing. And I don't see it. I go each week. I sit there. I'm not speaking because of what I'm going through with my nephew, and what's going on as far as their case is concerned. But I'm very concerned. There's all this money coming in, and I don't see it utilized with our community in the de-escalation and how they're even informing the community. And they're just getting money, taking money, tactical trainings from the hip and not from the mind in terms of what's going on, the crises and different things. And I agree with everything you're saying. It's just it's frustrating because when I say justice for my nephew Drew, I'm dealing with justice for the whole community in terms of this. I lost my nephew, but I don't want any other family member to go through this. And I'm concerned because it
Absolutely.
hasn't changed and it continues. Okay.
Erica, the other issue is when you were like on page 16 or whatever,
Mhm.
I caught where the person that is going to be implemented. Here's the other problem. You have somebody from Bergen County
Right,
who is going to be the person that's going to be somewhat implementing the strategy. These people aren't from, they're Bergen County. They're not from urban areas. They're not dealing with the same type of issues that we are dealing with here.
right,
And you know why? And he's white. Of course, they're white. Come on now. Why? When are we gonna start seeing people that contracts coming from people that look like us?
right,
That's representative of our communities and or at least being part of the training process. Anybody
right,
vet them to see what is,
right,
is there people on there that look like us, that understand our communities, that
right.
can relate and train based upon that. Not white people from Union County, I mean Bergen County, who has a whole nother set of issues over there. You know,
Yep,
mm.
yep, yep.
I no, I see what this is. That they're just trying to push some stuff through.
And run it through while they can,
Yeah,
while they feel like they're gonna have the votes.
and to make it appear as though they're doing some work now. That's
Um,
the other thing. Since he's been called, on
oh,
on the carpet to say that he's not really doing anything. So now, let's just put in some resolution, give some people some jobs, and
Well,
let them make some
he's
money.
still not being transparent, which has been our number one
okay.
request, is
I'd like
to
to speak to
include the
her.
community in these training programs. What does this training program look like you said,
Erica,
who's providing? Yes, 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 Auntie.
we have been going through this since 2023, since Drew's death. I keep seeing money funneled into all these programs. I want to go back and look at how much money they have gotten since my nephew's death, getting all this money and never addressed the one issue, the de-escalation in our community, and in making us informed and not involving them, but involving more of the grassroots community.
Mhm,
Nothing here has changed for our community.
mhm,
Nothing, except they're getting more money and just getting more weapons and things within there with tactical training to just uh, disenfranchise our community in terms of just
mhm.
mental health and everything. So, that's my thing. That's why I go each time I go and sit there, I listen to this.
So, Miss Denise, after this call, I can walk you through our caucus notes and we can review them.
Mhm.
Because we do keep track, at least since we've taken office. We have our notes archived here, 23, 24. I can provide you with 22 as well. We had a different system in 2022, but
Mhm.
keeping track of how much they are spending. It is a heavy lift. But if you're willing to put in a little bit of
Yes, definitely.
work,
Absolutely.
I can point you in the right direction and
Mhm.
we can
Mhm.
tally up exactly how much money public safety has spent on training.
And I think that's important for the community to know also. All this in terms, even when they addressed this, the incident with my nephew and all the things that they were supposed to do for the community. I mean, not when I say justice for you, I constantly say it's for other family members in our community dealing with so many different types of people in crisis. And nothing has been done except more money funneled into them for
Right.
everything but for our community.
Right.
Thank you so much, Erica.
Of
Excuse me.
course. And of course, we know about the vote of no confidence that passed successfully at the previous meetings.
Yes.
We will be moving forward with a vote to remove as well. So we're just trying to get everything in place because that involves a hearing. So there's steps to it, right? We have to give him advance notice that we'll be taking this step. There has to be a hearing if Director Shea chooses to have this hearing public, which we hope he will. Like, please let it be a public hearing instead of a closed hearing. So those measures will be taken. So we'll be letting the public know of all the steps as it unfolds, whether that hearing will be public or if it'll be a closed hearing. But we are looking forward to going through that process of having him removed.
Awesome.
Even if it's on the last day of the year. I mean,
Put it on paper. I mean,
right,
definitely.
exactly.
Okay,
We're gonna do what it takes to
let's
put it
be
on
open
record
about
that
it.
we were
Yes,
not
yes.
satisfied with Director Shea's management of public safety.
And
Greetings.
MC Phillip.
Right. Oh, right. If we can remove him, that would be great.
Yeah,
Greetings, Michael Griffin. I see you just joined us. How are you?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, everybody. I'm good. A little rainy. I'm good.
So we were just talking about the public safety or resolution 1011 for Tomahawk training. 10.12, sorry. 10.12 is a resolution ratifying the award of contract to Software House International for hardware maintenance services for servers, tape drivers, and VDI systems through the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Alliance, Bergen County Co-op for the Department of Public Safety. 10.13 is a resolution ratifying the award of contract to Dell Marketing LP for Microsoft license renewal under state contract for the Department of Administration, Division of IT. 10.14 is a resolution ratifying a professional services agreement with Andrew C. Abrams, attorney at law in the state of New Jersey, to serve as the chief municipal public defender in the Jersey City Municipal Court, in addition to performing his duties as public defender for the calendar year. 10.15 is a resolution appointing attorneys at law in the state of New Jersey to serve as public defenders in Jersey City Municipal Court. Do they list those attorneys' names?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there annual salaries for those public defenders? Because I know as a public defender, I know because they do have so much work and they talk about the pay, they're just, instead of like really helping people, they're just cutting deals. And some people, so like, is there like, is the wage livable? Or at least give them something worth going to work and fighting for people for?
So total contract is 468, and that is split. I'm trying to see how many public defenders is.
$500. Total contract is 460 out, 68,000. That's a lot.
But there's
of money.
multiple contracts.
Wow. Another one for 7,000.
So
okay, so
unit
it starts
price
to
is
name
7.
them. So that lady gets a $7,000 contract. Michael Pastacaldi his is for $7,000.
How many hours though?
Well, it should be is it in the resolution?
Yeah.
In their agreement somewhere it should state exactly or somewhat how many hours, or it may be how many per case. Or it could just be a general flat rate that they negotiated over a period of a year or maybe, and they'll get 7,000, and that covers however many cases they may get. But each attorney shall become as $250 per morning session. $275 per morning session, and then in cases where one defendant is eligible public, $275 for to represent one related to. So they have,
Okay.
they have it broken down in
Okay.
here.
All right.
They have to do.
Session. Okay. And that doesn't count I mean, it's one thing to get paid for your time in the court, but the real work is outside of the court, reviewing these caseloads and seeing how you can actually defend these. I've had to use a public defender before, and my experience is horrible. Like they don't look at your file until you get there.
Right.
And then they're reviewing it real fast, and they're like, "Yeah, take a plea bargain." I'm like, "No, I'm innocent. Why would I take a plea? I'm innocent." But they don't have time to research how to defend you. So yeah, like Mike said, a lot of times you end up taking a plea for something you didn't even do.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you know, I experienced that as well. Someone had actually used my name in a traffic violation,
Mm,
and they were just like, "No, just plead out." I said it wasn't me. They was like, "Well, if there's no way to prove it, just plead out." And they went. So I was like, "Whatever." So we got in court. I said not guilty. The judge asked for the ticket. They gave the judge the ticket. He looked at it, and on the back, the judge said, "This ticket says no ID." So
wow.
the cop wrote no ID on the back of the ticket, and they didn't even look at that. So everybody was looking stupid, and if they didn't write that, I would have been paying all sorts of fines.
But
You
it
know,
just goes to show how quick the public defender is just to just jump to saying, "Oh, cop a plea," so his life will be easier. His or her life will be easier. But maybe if they got paid a little bit more to do their job, they'd take it, a little bit more carefully and cautiously. With that said, yeah. So I mean, that would be on, like, I guess on them to really advocate for more. I don't know if we have their resumes. We just have their invoices. I don't see any resumes attached. But it would be good for them to come speak on behalf of this resolution, to give their experience as a public defender. Yeah, I don't see anybody's resumes attached here. I'm trying to get all the way down to the end. Yeah, so I can send an email to the BA to see if we can get contact information. They just give information about their donations, who they've made donations to. All right. 10.16 is a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City to approve the sale of 102 Cambridge Avenue, Unit 11, and authorize Shira M. Rivera to assume the city's note, mortgage, and deed restriction and lien encumbering the property. So I'm always curious as to how these sales are made. Like, is it put on, like, is the public aware of this? Does it go through a broker or a realtor? How do these persons get to purchase these city properties if it didn't go, especially if it didn't go through JCRA? But this is the second last name Rivera that I've seen purchase a city property.
Oh, we ain't gonna talk about them.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say it. Like, is it a coincidence?
I mean, it is a common name, though, in all fairness.
what was the sale price?
Let's see. It was 212,000. And it's a unit, so it's a condo, unit 11 on 102 Cambridge Ave. 10.17 is a local. No problem.
Oh, I just wanted to know where's Cambridge Ave? Is that in the Heights?
I
think
believe
it's
so. Yes, that's the height.
Okay.
Yeah, off of Central. 10.17 is a resolution of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City authorizing the business administrator to execute a discharge of mortgage encumbering 269 Stegman Street. 269 Stegman, is that an affordable unit? Or they're all part of the affordable, but I'm wondering if it's a 95.5 home. There's no property there. So is it a lot or is it this house? It must be that house. Okay.
Well, who is it being sold to? Because if it's an LLC, it might be
No,
a lot for development.
It's a discharge of mortgage. So they secured a loan through the city in an amount of 22,000, paid it off or reached the deed restriction period, No interest mortgage, repayment
Okay,
schedule,
gotcha.
repayment is due from the borrowers. Okay. 1018 is a resolution of the municipal council of the city of Jersey City authorizing the business administrator to execute another mortgage discharge encumbering 316 through 318 Van Horn Street. I believe this is one of the 95.5 locations. Is there a recapture amount? 52. Okay, there's no recapture amount, so it's not a 95.5 house. All right, 1019 is a resolution authorizing the Jersey City to enter into a contract with Hunter Research Inc. for professional consulting services for the historic preservation review and completion of demolition and determination of significance applications. 10.20 is a resolution authorizing the award of competitively bid contract to Arup US Inc. to provide professional planning services for the development of Jersey City Transportation Plan. We just now trying to develop a transportation plan. So we authorized this bidding process in October of 2024. RFP requests went out in December of 24, and we received 3 proposals. And this one is for $419,000. Okay. 10.21 is a resolution authorizing the release of claims against the New Jersey Economic Development Authority as part of Phase 1 or Phase 2 environmental assessment of the Bergen Arches corridor. 10.22 is a resolution authorizing the City of Jersey City's Office of Cultural Affairs to accept the sponsorship for Summerfest from Jersey City's Free Public Library. 10.23 is a resolution authorizing an award of contract to Sport Cruza Inc. for maintenance and repair services at municipal basketball courts throughout the city through the Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative, formerly known as the National Joint Powers Alliance for the Department of Recreation. That's for the amount of $78,000. 10.24 is a resolution approving the improvements to the public right-of-way constructed by 70 through 90 Columbus Holding Company, LLC, and releasing the performance bond. 10.25 is a resolution authorizing the award of professional services contract to Caucus US in connection with environmental engineering consulting services for the municipal service complex project. 10.26 is a resolution ratifying the professional services agreement with Endpoint Environmental and Infrastructure LLC, formerly Environmental Remediation and Financial Services LLC, to provide the city with environmental services for the Department of Infrastructure. 10.27 is a resolution authorizing the month-to-month extension not to exceed 3 months effective on April 30th, 2025 of a contract with Gateway Security, Inc. to provide armed and unarmed security guard services at various city locations. I have some questions because I think they've been these are the persons who guard the municipal buildings, and I think we went through a change at our municipal buildings because I'm seeing all new faces. So I'm wondering what's going to happen at the end of this month-to-month contract. Are we going to be seeing new faces at our and I just would like an introduction. Like, I would like to know who's going to be guarding us, and because I don't think it's 24/7 anymore. I don't see officers at the annex on nights and weekends like I did previously. So I'm wondering if this contract doesn't cover nights and weekends anymore. Do we no longer have 24-hour guards? And why can't they be Jersey City cops? Like, why do we have to? Well, we have a shortage of cops, I understand, but it just doesn't make sense to have out of town cops guarding municipal buildings. 1028 is a resolution authorizing the renewal of a contract with Sims Municipal Recycling of New York, LLC for the disposition of and marketing of co-mingled recyclable materials for the Department of Public Works. 10.29 is a resolution authorizing an award of an open-end contract to Foley Power Systems for forklift repairs as needed for the automotive garage through the Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative. 10.30 is a resolution of the Municipal Council honoring the life and outstanding service of Lieutenant Alfredo Rodriguez Jr. 10.31 is a resolution authorizing an agreement with 5 with 352 Martin LLC, allowing the city of Jersey City to enter a property owned by the licensor to access space on their property of 80 Grove Street to paint a mural on the exterior wall of Hudson Hall. 10.32 is a resolution approving amendments to the financial agreements between the city of Jersey City and Emmanuel Realty LLC as it relates to the improvements located at 413 through 419 Arlington, 64 through 66 Harmon Street, and 750 through 766 Harmon Street to permit the subdivision of unimproved land and terminate the abatement for a portion of the exempt property. So we're terminating an abatement for a portion of these properties. Let's go to the purpose box to see if we can be told anything more. To amend an existing pilot to remove unimproved land that will be subdivided for future development. Okay. So they got an abatement, but they didn't do anything. Did they not do what they said they were going to do? Is there anything owed? Like, what is the process if it was unimproved and they got the abatement to improve this property? What happens with all the funds that they saved? Do they pay that back to the city? So let's see. In 2018, we approved the sale. Parcels. On Harmon in order to create a lot, 4-story residential building containing 18 bicycle parking spaces, 36 car spaces. 27 dwelling units, 3 of which shall be affordable. They got an abatement for 3 affordable units. Existing 4-story, 24 multi-unit family. So we're gonna get some more information as it relates to this tax abatement. What did they get the original abatement for? What was done? What wasn't done? And what do the numbers look like? Like how much was abated and what part of the abatement is going to be canceled? 1033 is a resolution renewing a professional services agreement with Cleary Giacobi Alfieri Jacobs LLC to represent Mayor Stephen Fulop in the city of Jersey City in the matter of Athena O'Gara versus the city of Jersey City. So this is it's a case going back to 2021. We've spent 25, 50, 50, 50, almost $200,000 so far on this case. I hate when we spend all this money on lawyers only to settle in the end for the same amount that we paid the lawyers. 10.34, a resolution authorizing a closed session of the municipal council on Wednesday, April 23rd to discuss issues related to pending litigation. So probably the aforementioned litigation. No, it can't be the aforementioned litigation because they're voting on it. So it must be something that they're voting on in an upcoming council meeting. 1035 is a resolution authorizing the Jersey City Law Department to file affirmative tax appeals on behalf of the city of Jersey City in the year 2025. 10.36 is a resolution authorizing the settlement of Hernandez versus the city. And the settlement amount is for $85,000.
Erica, I'm sorry. That was just a little too fast. Those tax appeals, are those for homeowners? Is the city representing homeowners for tax appeals, or? I didn't quite understand that.
The reverse tax appeals on behalf of the city specifically includes the right to file affirmative tax appeals on behalf of the city, which tax appeals are designated to accurately and equitably apportion a real estate tax burden among the existing properties, seeks to ensure uniformity, emphasize continued support, proper allocation. So it doesn't mention which properties. So affirmative tax appeals, I would think, is to defend to defend property taxes that were previously appealed, maybe?
Okay, so basically it's a lawyer to, okay. So people who made tax appeals, they hire lawyers to defend, to
They
defend
want,
the
they want to take
tax
it to a,
assessor.
yeah, they want to take it to a higher court, meaning maybe there was an appeal and there was a ruling, and now they want to affirm the original, they want to affirm the appeal, so they want a higher court to uphold the original tax amount, maybe. So we'll ask John McKinney is the attorney who put this up, um to speak further to this. I'll send him an email to see if we can get answers prior to the caucus.
Okay, does it say anything about the, I'm sorry, does it say anything about the county? Because I'm working with Ms. Burgess, and we had to go to the county. So her appeal, she's gonna get a letter in the next couple of weeks for her tax appeal, but it's gonna be at the county. So are they suing the county? I mean, not suing, but is this Jersey City versus the county?
Doesn't state, it just
Okay,
says, yeah. So I'll
okay,
ask
okay, okay.
for more information.
All right, thanks.
No problem. Okay, so we said the Hernandez, that payout is 85,000. 10.37 is a resolution supporting the New Jersey Department of Transportation, JFK Boulevard, Route 139 viaduct spanning project located in Jersey City. 1038 is a resolution supporting the New Jersey Department of Transportation preliminary preferred alternative to replace the Baldwin Avenue Bridge over Passaic and Haramis Branch located in the city of Jersey City. 10.39 is honoring the life and legacy of Maxima Cologne. And 10.40 is authorizing the award of contract to Municipal Parking Service, Inc. for the pilot program involving camera-based parking enforcement. Okay, so and I asked, they must have put this on because I asked about what technologies we're looking at for parking enforcement. There's a lot of new tech out there, especially with AI, the use of AI. And so a couple of vendors had reached out to our office with some new parking regulation technology. And so I reached out to Lieutenant Ragland and a couple of the other lieutenants, and they said that they are working on using some tech. So this must be it. So they're going to start a pilot program using these camera-based parking enforcements, so that to take more, I guess, officers off of the parking ticketing duty, and having them do some more, some other work in the city. So now we'll have technology scanning license plates to see if they are properly parked. I'd like more information about how this technology is working to remotely monitor issues, violations for illegal parking, fire hydrants, bus stops. What areas will this pilot be situated in? Pilot program for up to 1 year, contract amount not to exceed 44. So safety sticks. Okay, so these are the sticks that go up. 200 safety sticks. The city may deploy up to 20 safety sticks for an initial evaluation period of 6 months, commencing when the first approved violation is mailed. City reserves the right to cancel the agreement. Okay, during this period. So where are these 20 sticks gonna go? We can reach out to the community members of the community to see like where's like the worst parking areas. Like, okay, so fire hydrants, loading zones, wheelchair ramps, bus stops, too close to intersection, restricted zones, cultural, religious areas. Okay, and these are the violations. These violations may not be enough, because we're hearing that even when people get tickets, they don't move because these tickets don't outweigh the cost of a parking space. So sometimes people are willing to eat this ticket fee because the cost of a parking space, or being late for work, or being late for court, or being late for anything, for some people it's worth it just getting this ticket. So we might need to look at increasing these fees for these tickets, because a lot of people, especially for the sweeper, people are especially downtown, they're not moving for the sweeper because they don't want to risk losing their parking spot. And that are the agenda items of the Jersey City Municipal Council meeting taking place on April 9th. The caucus is taking place on April 7th. April 7th at 4 p.m., April 9th at 6 p.m. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to the Office of Councilman Gilmore. You can get all of our contact information on your Contact Your Councilman page. There you'll see Councilman Gilmore's email address, cell phone number, office number. You can schedule a meeting with us, whether you're a city employee, a constituent, or a land use applicant. You can also reach out to either of the aides in the council office. We have Gina, Tina, Lanisha, and myself, Chief of Staff Erica Walker. All of our contact information is there as well. I always tell people, lock us in. So you don't always have to come back to the website. Go ahead and lock our cell phone numbers in, our mobile numbers, office numbers, and email addresses. The best thing to do also is to learn how to use the Resident Response Center applications. And you can report an issue using See Click Fix. If you see anything wrong in the city that your tax dollars are supposed to be responsible for, please use See Click Fix to report that issue. With that said, thank you all for joining. Are there any other questions, comments, concerns that you'd like to cover at this time from anybody? I see one thing in the chat. All right. Well, thank you all. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to us directly. And if you're watching this in a recording, hope you learned something today. Again, feel free to contact us directly with any issue, concern, question, or inquiry.
Thanks, Erica.
My pleasure. Have a great day, everybody.